So today we will speak about the adjectives. Okay. So do you know what is the relation with the adjective with regard to noun and pronoun? Because adjective speaks about the noun, or adjective tells something, or something specific about a noun. It is a, we can call it as a describing word. It describes noun. Okay. So that is with regard to adjectives. And there are some other kind of things which we have to keep in mind when we speak about adjectives. So there are different kinds of adjectives. There are different types of adjectives where we can use, and there is a comparison of adjectives, and there is a thing called the compound adjective, and there is a way to place adjective, which means if there are many adjectives in a sentence, we have to place each of those things in a separate way. So there is a structure for that. So today in this class we will speak about all those kind of things. So here adjectives are describing word. It tells something about something specific about the noun. So as you know, adjectives can be used either before or after the noun they describe. For example, David is a dependable person. David is a dependable person. So here it is used before the noun. It is used before the noun. The next one, Rupa is very kind. Rupa is very kind. So here it is used after the noun. Okay, it is used after the noun. The next one, like Rupa's dancing is better. Here, the word better is used after the noun. So there are criteria in which where we place adjectives and so on. So we will speak about all those kind of things. Okay. So in the beginning, we speak about the kinds of adjectives. So before we move on to the structure and the placing of adjectives, we have to speak about the kinds of adjectives in the beginning. Then we move on to the next part of it. Okay. So the first one, qualitative adjective. I mean adjective, which means it speaks about the quality of the adjective. Okay, there are qualitative adjective, quantitative adjective, possessive adjective, demonstrative adjective, interrogative adjective, and proper adjectives. So we'll discuss about all these kind of things. So in the beginning, it speaks about the qualitative adjective. So here, qualitative adjective means it speaks about some quality of the adjective, or some quality about the noun is described in the qualitative adjective. For example, maybe it speaks about the size, the color, the state, the manner, the shape, and so on. So in these kind of things, we classify the qualitative adjective. Qualitative adjective. So for example, she came up with a unique idea. She came up with a unique idea, or he gave me a pleased look. So it is the manner in which he looked, and the unique idea, the state of idea or mind which she had. So that is what about it. And it also can speak about the shape, the size, the color, and so on. So that is all about the qualitative adjective. And now we have a quantitative adjective. So mainly it answers how much or how many questions, or like how much it is, or how many it is. So it describes these kind of things. So we will explain with the example. For example, we have about 20 students here. We have about 20 students here. For example, the question is like this: how many students are there in the class? So here the answer will be 20 students are there in the class. So here we are speaking about the quantity, or quantity of the class, or whatever it is. It answers the question how much or how many. Or for example, I have a few tickets still left with me. So here asking how many tickets are there. So I have a few tickets with me. So that is all about the quantitative adjective. It speaks about the quantity of the adjective. Okay. The next one is possessive adjective. So here it shows possession. So what is possession? Something that is with us. So that is called possession. For example, Mrs. Patel is our new teacher. So here it is a possession which shows. So here they're speaking about our teacher. They're speaking about our teacher. So we can call it as a possessive adjective. It speaks about, it shows a possession. And your exercise book your exercise books are kept on the shelf. So here we speak about the exercise book. So whose it is? It is yours. So it shows the possession or the ownership of something. So then we will use the possessive adjective. Okay. Then we have demonstrative adjective. So here in demonstrative adjectives, they point out or identify nouns. So in order to point out or identify nouns, we use demonstrative adjectives. For example, these mangoes are very sweet. So here the word these are considered as the demonstrative adjectives because they speak about where the mango is. Okay. Or for example, I have already cleaned those shelves. So the words like these, those, there, here are called demonstrative adjective because it demonstrates where the noun is kept or the where the noun is situating or whatever it is. The first example, these mangoes are very sweet. So we are speaking about the mangoes which are there. They are pointing out the mangoes. They are pointing out and saying that these mangoes are very sweet. The word these is used in order to demonstrate something. For example, I have already cleaned the shelves. I have already cleaned the shelves. And here the word those are used in order to demonstrate the shelf or the cleaned shelf which is there. So they are demonstrating it. They are pointing out the particular object or the noun which is there. Okay. The next one is interrogative adjective. So what is interrogative adjective? So in interrogative adjective, they used for it is used for asking questions. So we know what is interrogative questions and so on. Okay. So that is all about interrogative. So it is used for asking questions, usually followed by nouns and so on. For example, the question like, you know about the WH questions, is it? For like the words where, when, which, and all those things are used. For example, which is your pen, or where is your pen, whose book, where are you going? So all these are called interrogative pronoun. So here it speaks about or used for asking question, usually followed by noun. Which pen is yours? Whose book are you reading? So here we speak about the, I mean, it's used for asking questions. In order to ask question, we use interrogative adjectives. Okay. And then the last one is the proper adjective. So here, it is formed from the proper pronouns, especially names of places and so on. For example, Ralph is a Swede who is married to a French citizen. So here there is a what's that? A proper name or something that is used in order to speak about something, especially names of places. So because Ralph is a Swede who is married to a French citizen. So here we are speaking about a particular space, I mean place, where we get more importance in the sentence. Okay. So in those situations, we will use proper adjectives. So this is all about the kinds of adjectives. So we have been discussing about the kinds of adjectives. The first one was qualitative adjective. Second one was quantitative adjective. The third one possessive, then demonstrative, interrogative, and proper adjectives. Okay. So now we move on to the next part of it, the participles as adjectives. So what do you mean by participles? So we know the present and past participle of verbs are commonly used as adjectives. For example, like the words, the ing forms, the word interesting, swimming. So all these are used as a noun, and so it is converted as adjectives also. Okay, so we will know the uses of participles in a sentence. So here I'll say one example. I watched an interesting film last night. So here there is a word interesting. So it can be considered as the participle form of it, because verb plus ing form can be called as the present participle. Is it? The verb plus ed form is known as the past participle. So here I watched an interesting film last night. So here the word interesting speaks about the film. It qualifies or it speaks something about the noun that is there in the sentence, that is film. Okay. Um, and then next one is there was broken glass all over the floor. So there was broken glass all over the floor. So here the past participle form is used in the sentence. So there can be verb plus ed, verb plus t, verb plus n, verb plus ed, and verb plus en. So here the verb plus en form is used, like broken. There was a broken glass all over the floor. Okay, so that is used in the sentence. And now this is all about participles as adjectives. Okay, so I was talking about the participles as adjectives, and we have the past, present participle, and the past participle. So here the present participle of a verb used as an adjective can often show an exciting state or action that is going on. For example, the rising temperature is making life difficult for everybody. So here the rising temperature, what does it mean? So here the participle form is used with the help of that is a present participle form is used with the help of verb plus ing form. Okay. And then the firefighters saved everyone from the burning building. So here the burning building. So the building is the noun, and the word burning is used as a present participle in the sentence with a verb plus ing form. So it also qualifies what the word building. Okay, so we can call it as a as we said, an adjective often show an exciting state or action that is going on. So see, the rising temperature is making life difficult for every day. So the rising temperature means the thing that is going on now, or the firefighters saved everyone from the burning building. So the word burning building, or in this sentence, it is considered as a continuous process. It is still going on, and what happens? The word burning is really suiting to the sentence, and it is used as an adjective, and also it is a present participle form of the sentence. Okay, and then next thing which we have to keep in mind, like The past participle of a verb used as an adjective often show an action that is complete. So in present participle, what will happen? It will show an action that is going on, or a continuous action is shown when we use the present participle. And what will happen when we use the past participle? It shows an action which is complete. For example, I'll explain with an example. The excited children were quite happy with the decision. The excited children were quite happy with the decision. So here, maybe the authority might have taken a decision and the children were happy. So it is a past action which has already completed. Or else I'll give one more example. The police claim that they have recovered the stolen goods. So here the police already recovered the stolen goods. And so what happened? Here the word stolen is used. Stolen is used as an adjective in order to describe about the goods. Okay, and so it is an action which already happened in the past. But when we come to the present participle, what happens? There it shows an action which is going on. But whereas in past participle, it shows or it speaks about an action which already happened. Okay, so that is all about the participle form of adjectives. And we have another kind of adjective, that is compound adjectives. So compound adjectives, what do you mean by compound adjective? What do you mean by the word compound? Which means the combination of the two things. Okay, so in the same way, compound adjective means these are made up of two or more words. These are made up of two or more words. Like compound adjectives are often joined by a hyphen. Okay, I'll give an example. I have never known a more kind-hearted person. I have never known a more kind-hearted person. So here the word kind-hearted. So these are two words, kind and hearted. So we put together and make an adjective. So kind-hearted is a we can say compound word, because the word kind plus hearted. These two words are put together in order to make a adjective. Okay, the word kind, it can stay as a single adjective, but when we put these words together, it becomes a compound adjective, and the meaning also changes. Okay, or I will wear that bottle green dress today. So here the word bottle green. So what does it indicate? It speaks about the color of it. But even then, the color is described with two words, that is bottle green. The word bottle plus green. So there are two words which are used in order to explain about an adjective. Might be the color of it, but there are two words which are put together. Okay, so that is with regard to compound adjective. So as we know, what we can say, we know about compound sentences. What does it mean? There, two words are put together, or compound. There are compound nouns. Is it? When we spoke about noun in the last class, we were speaking about compound nouns. So there, what happens? There, two words are put together in order to make a single sentence. I mean, not single sentence, single word. Okay. So then we have to move on to see about the structure of the sentence when we use adjectives in a sentence. So here, so if the first part of the adjective is an adverb, then there are no hyphen between the words that make of the adjective. For example, I came across a funnily dancing monkey. Funnily dancing monkey. So here, the first part of the adjective is an adverb. Here, the word funnily is not an adjective, but it is an adverb. So then, in those situations, there won't be a hyphen in the sentence. Okay, then there won't be a hyphen in the sentence. Okay, so then there are some exercises and assignments which are given in the textbook. So you'll do one thing. You can write all those things. Write all those things by yourself, and later I'll be giving the answers. Okay. So don't forget to complete all those. So you may have to submit your books in the books to the class. I mean, to the subject teacher. So complete all those things on time. So now we spoke about the kinds of adjectives. So there were different kinds of adjectives, and we also spoke about the participle, participle type of adjectives, and then we spoke about the compound adjectives, which means the words which are put together. And now we have another kind, that is the comparison of adjectives. The adjectives can be used in order to compare, or you might have heard about the positive, comparative, and superlative degrees of the adjectives. So there are 3 degrees of adjectives which can be seen in when we speak about adjective. For example, the positive, comparative, and superlative. For example, good, better, best. Good, better, best. Bad, worst, worst. Or large, larger, largest. Or beautiful, more beautiful, most beautiful. So all these are different adjectives which have different degrees of comparison. For example, we have regular adjectives like large, larger, largest, clear, clearer, clearest, pure, purer, purest. So all these are regular adjectives. Here it goes in a systematic way. Like the first one is the first one will be ordinary adjective. That is a positive adjective, and then we have the comparative adjective which begins with er. For example, large, the word large plus r or er, either r or er is added at the end of the sentence and made comparative adjective. In the same way, superlative adjective is made using the word est or st. So what happens? These are called regular adjectives, in which there is no much modification in it. But what will happen when we speak about irregular adjectives? So there won't be a connection between positive, comparative, and superlative adjectives. Just like good, better, best. So there is no relation between good with the next one. It is another word, good, better, best. Or like bad, worse, worst. Bad, worse, worst. Like far, further, furthest. Many, more, most. So all these are irregular adjectives. And then we have the second one, or the third one, we can say adjectives with the more than 2 syllables. Adjectives with the more than 2 syllables. For example, intelligent, intelligent, more intelligent, most intelligent. Beautiful, more beautiful, most beautiful. Confused, more confused, most confused. So here the word more and most are used in the sentence in order to make a what we can call a comparison of adjectives. Okay, we have a positive, comparative, and superlative degrees of adjectives. So this is the way in which we make these 3 types of adjectives. Like as I said, there are 3 types of comparison. One is positive, comparative and superlative degree, and also we have three types of adjectives, that is regular adjective, irregular adjective, and adjective with more than 2 syllables. So in regular adjective, what we see there, the comparative and superlative degrees are made with either er or r, and the superlative degree is made with est or st. But in irregular adjectives, there won't be any connection between the positive, comparative, and superlative degrees. It differs from each. For example, good, better, best, bad, worse, worst, far, further, furthest. So all differ. And now the last one is 2-syllabled adjective, like intelligent, more intelligent, most intelligent, beautiful, more beautiful, most beautiful. So there we have 2 words. So that is called adjectives with more than 2 syllables. Okay. Then when making an unequal comparison, we use the comparative degree of adjective, like than. For example, this room is larger than the earlier one. So we are comparing it with another one. So there we use the word than in the sentence in order to show the comparison, or in order to make the comparison between 2 things. He is taller than me, or he's shorter than me. So here the word than is used in order to make a comparison between 2 things or person. Or else the air in the hills is purer than in the city. So here we speak about 2 places and the type of air they have. So in order to compare between 2 places, or in order to compare between 2 things or 2 persons, we use a comparative adjective. Or, and in the sentence we use the word than. So here in the negative comparison, using not often use the positive degree of adjectives. For example, my left arm is not as strong as my right arm. My left arm is not as strong as my right one. So here when we use not, it is we often use the positive degree of adjectives. So we use the positive degree of adjectives when we use negative, for example, the word not, or when we apply a negation in the sentence, what will happen? Always we use the positive degree of adjectives. See, it basically it compares 2 things. It compares between the left arm and the right arm. But the word as is also used. But what happened? Since there is a negation in the sentence with the word not, we will use the positive degree of comparison in order to show it. Okay. Or like he is not as hardworking as his sister. So here there is a comparison between these 2 people. One is the person, and the next one is his sister. So since there is a negation with the using the word not, what happened? We used the positive degree of comparison. In the same way, when making a comparison at the same level, we use the positive degree of adjective. For example, the film is as interesting as it's seen. Or some say Kolkata is as fascinating as Delhi. So what does it what do we understand here? There, when we compare, or when we do a comparison at the same level, we use the positive degree of adjective. Okay, though it is comparing between 2 things, we use the positive form of it. Like the film is as interesting as it is seen. Or some say Kolkata is as fascinating as Delhi. So what do we understand from here? The positive degree of adjective is used in order to show the comparison between these 2 things. Usually positive degrees of adjectives are not used to say comparison, But what happened when we compare same thing of a same level? What happened? The positive degree can be used. Okay. On the last one, when one thing or person is singled out in a group, we use the superlative degree of adjective. When we speak about the topmost thing, or when we speak about the peak of it, we will use the superlative degree. For example, my brother is the tallest boy in his group. So here, who is the tallest among the group? It is the boy or his brother. So my brother is the tallest boy in this group. So he is the tallest one in the group, or this is the longest essay in the entire book. So when we check the entire book, we will not see as that much big essay in the textbook. So that is all about comparison of adjectives.